What's going on, guys? My name is Jake. Welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'm here to bring you part 11 of my F1 of the Iceman returns on F1 2012, and there you can see the accident that Kimi had in Q3, which meant he was able to qualify no higher than 10th. And now just looking at a setup for the Hungarian Grand Prix. We have 35 laps ahead of us today, and now as we are going to look at the race strategy, one stop today, pitting on lap 15 to the primes and normal fuel strategy. And now as we are going to have a look at the grid, and you can see that Jensen Button qualified on pole with Fernando Alonso in second place and Lewis Hamilton in third. Roman Grosjean Raikkonen's teammate qualified in fourth, with Sergio Perez and Kimi Kobayashi, the two Saubers, line up in fifth and sixth, with Nico Rosberg line up in seventh and Passamano in eighth. And then rounding out the top 10 is Paul di Resta and in ninth and Kimi Raikkonen in 10th. So Raikkonen didn't have the best qualifying, but of course he can carry on down. Whereas Sebastian Vettel, Mark Webber, Michael Schumacher, Felipe Massa didn't have the best qualifying. They all were knocked out in Q2 and line up in 15th, 12th and 13th. So, and no, 11th and 12th and 13th and 14th I believe, 15th I believe. I'm not entirely sure, but nevertheless let's go out onto the grid. And now you can see that Jensen Button is on pole and Roman Grosjean in 4th place, and then Raikkonen in 10th with the two Red Bulls behind him. And in front of Raikkonen he has Paul di Resta and Passamano, and then Nico Rosberg you'd see in 7th, as they are revving up to 5 red lights now for the Hungarian Grand Prix. It's lights out in the Australian and the Hungarian Grand Prix is underway, and Raikkonen already has also placed Sebastian Vettel, and Raikkonen has now got 3 cars looking to get past him. Webber is one of them, and he has, as they come into the first corner, Kimi Raikkonen now goes up the inside and moves up into 9th place. So he's already moved up from, I think it was 11th to 9th, and now he's going to go up the and now it looks like he's going to go up he's going to get past Passamano, but now he has a car on his outside, but that doesn't really work for them. And now it looks like Raikkonen is going to go up the inside, well actually the outside of Passamano, and he gets the pass done. And next up is Nico Rosberg, and who is quite close to Lewis Hamilton it seems, and I think Lewis Hamilton wants to, and now it's actually going to make him the chicane. No, he thinks better of it, and through the chicane you can see that Rosberg is now looking to get past Lewis Hamilton, but Hamilton is slowed up by a Sauber, which then ends up slowing up Rosberg, and that means Raikkonen get right on Rosberg's gearbox, and he is now on Rosberg's gearbox as they are coming around this corner. And I believe Raikkonen is going to look at making a pass on Rosberg very soon, and he actually does it here at the inside, lock up, slight contact, runs Rosberg out of road, which you're allowed to do, and Passamano also gets past Rosberg as well, and then Rosberg is pushed down to 9th and Raikkonen up into 7th. Next up is Lewis Hamilton, and you could argue that Rosberg, that move that Raikkonen did on Rosberg was very aggressive. It was very aggressive, but nevertheless you can see that it worked out very well, and Raikkonen now goes up to the rich mix as he has 8 extra laps of fuel on board at the moment, and he makes a mistake at the first corner by running a bit wide, but luckily Manlado doesn't go up the inside. As now we are going on to and Hamilton is trying to get past, I believe it's Kimi Kobayashi, as now we are going to go on to lap 4, and you can see that Lewis Hamilton is very close to Kimi Kobayashi, and Raikkonen now goes around the final corner. He gets on the power very early, gets a good run, opens the RS, uses the rest of the curves to pass Lewis Hamilton, and then he ducks in front of him. The curves really helped out Raikkonen there, as he now goes out the inside actually of Kimi Kobayashi. Is it going to work? There's no contact, and Kobayashi runs off the road. It's not over yet, but Raikkonen just has a better, just has a fast car and moves up into 5th place behind Sergio Perez, who is his next target. As he runs wide, come through the 3rd corner, but that doesn't really hinder him. He still maintains 5th place, as now we're going on to lap 14. So not really much happened, and in the end Perez actually pulled away by 3 seconds. And lap 14 is when Kimi Raikkonen is coming into the pits. So he goes down to the lean mix and now pulls off into the pits. It'll be interesting to see where he rejoins. I think Kimi Kobayashi is coming in as well. I'm not entirely sure. He's a couple of seconds behind Raikkonen. But Perez now is 6 seconds ahead, and coming into the pit box, a set of prime tyres going, and is a 3.4 second pit stop as Raikkonen now trundles down the pit lane at 61 miles per hour. So it's quicker than Melbourne, and now he's in 10th, but Schumacher and Webber are coming up on the left hand side. As you go for Kinston, you can see Schumacher there, and Webber is ahead, so Raikkonen rejoins ahead of Mark Schumacher and behind Mark Webber. Not too bad, but obviously he is in 11th outside the points, but there's still 20 laps to go in this race, and it looks like Kimi will try and get ahead of Mark Webber very soon. Of course, it's a bit annoying for him probably, because he's been thrown straight into racing on cold tyres after pit stop, which isn't always the best thing that you want, but nevertheless Raikkonen is a world champion. He's had to deal with this before, as now we are going to cut on to, I believe it's actually lap 16, next lap, going around the final corner and onto the straight. A good run, and he uses the DRS and curves to good effect to get ahead of Mark Webber and move back up into 5th, and now he can turn his attention to he actually gets on marbles, and that might pass it, doesn't. But now Raikkonen is back up into 5th. He can now focus on hunting down Sergio Perez for 4th place, which he wasn't able to do last time. But nevertheless, after pit stops, can he do that now? As now we're going into lap 19. He has got up to Sergio Perez, and and again through a final corner, he seems to love it there today. He is now using DRS and the curves again to good effect, and moves up to 4th place. And next up is his teammate Roman Grosjean. So 1 place behind his teammate, and I think that is Grosjean. You can see ahead of Timo Glock, who we are just about to lap now. So I believe that car ahead in the distance that you can see is in fact Grosjean, which means Raikkonen is quite close to his teammate, which means he should be able to get a move on him in the next few laps. As now we're on lap 22, 2 laps later, going around the final corner. Once again, he is very, very close to Roman Grosjean. DRS and curves on the exit, and obviously he is now using curves DRS again, and he breezes and he goes around the outside and breezes past the teammate and to move up into 3rd place on lap 23, and uses some more curves as Hamilton sets fast up on 123.5. But now we are going to go on to lap 25, I thought it was 26, but Raikkonen now come down the start finish straight with Alonso 6 seconds ahead, and he actually runs wide. He actually makes a mistake first corner, runs wide, and that lets Grosjean get up ahead. They got very close there, but I don't think they touched. And then coming up to this corner, obviously Raikkonen isn't going to yield. He's still very much there, and into this corner, there's contact, and Grosjean spins, and Raikkonen then spins around the right way, but Raikkonen is instantly awarded.
Okay, Kimi, we will take the penalty this lap. I repeat, take the penalty this lap.
So team radio, obviously Raikkonen taking the penalty this lap, and it's unfortunate what happened to him, but that's racing, and you have to pay for your consequences. They did actually end up losing a place to Perez, who I believe will end up on the podium, as now I'm coming on to lap 25. Obviously Raikkonen is now taking the drive to penalty, so he's got to trundle down the pit lane at 61 miles per hour. I believe, and he's lost a place to Lewis Hamilton, but will he lose any more places? Next up is Pastor Maldonado in 7th. So now you can see on the left in the mini map, it doesn't look like Maldonado might in fact pass him. I'm not sure if that's a lap car. Maldonado doesn't pass him, and it is just a lap car. So Raikkonen only losing 1 place from his 1 or 2 place to 1 place from his drive to penalty. So it's not really too bad. But now as we are coming on to the final lap of the race, and you can see that Jensen Button has won the race, and Raikkonen comes across the line in 6th. Not a bad result, as you are about to hear now some more team radio from Raikkonen.
Good result, mate. 1 place behind Roman is not too bad at all.
So obviously Raikkonen finished 1 place behind his teammate Roman Grosjean, which is not too bad. The top Jensen Button won the race from Fernando Alonso, and Sergio Perez did end up on the podium in 3rd, with Lewis Hamilton in 4th. Then it's two Lotuses of Roman Grosjean and Kimi Raikkonen. Kimi Kobayashi ended up finishing in 7th ahead of Pastor Maldonado, and rounding out the top 10 are the 2 Mercedes of Nico Rosberg and Michael Schumacher. With the 2 Red Bulls of Mark Webber and Sebastian Vettel not having a good weekend, qualifying in 11th and 12th, and then just swapping places but still finishing in 11th and 12th. And unable to score points this weekend, unfortunately. And I believe we are going to go on to the driver's standings now. And yes, we are here on the driver's standings. Jens Button leads away ahead of Lewis Hamilton, who is 15 points behind, with Mark Webber in 3rd and Fernando Alonso in 4th. 5th is Kimi Raikkonen ahead of his teammate Roman Grosjean, who is actually closing in there. Sebastian Vettel in 7th and Sergio Perez in 8th. Michael Schumacher in 9th and Pastor Maldonado in 10th. Now on to the Constructors' Championship. You can see McLaren lead the way, 315 points with Red Bull in 2nd, Lotus in 3rd, Ferrari are in 4th with Sauber in 5th, Mercedes in 6th with Williams in 7th, 8th Force India, 9th Toro Rosso, and the team jet squad are Marussia, KTM and HRT. So that's been it from me. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a big like, comment down below what you thought, subscribe if you are new for weekly F1 content. You can follow me on Twitter @Perpetuated_. As always, there is a link to that down in the description. And if you want to get partner with Freedom, a link to that is also down in the description. And all the music used in this video is in the description. And if you want to check out my race engineer, a link to his channel will be down in the description. That's really it for me, and I will see you next time.